So we've got Eric Selvig, we've got the Battle of New York, we've got in Age of Ultron, we're going to have the epic Hulkbuster showdown with Hulk through the streets of Johannesburg, and it is just that great thing that we do where we like having fun and poking fun at these things. And, even Iron Man, nobody is immune to a bit of fun. Loki's there having a barbecue, chilling out, watching the Battle of New York unfold. It's just great to be able to revisit, these movies that I love, you love, everyone loves, and inject humor into them, and then also, obviously throwing a load of comic book content.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that we see from all the LEGO games is sort of this supporting cast. We have usually our main characters, but one of the fun things about also playing through the games is unlocking all of this, the cast that you get throughout and that you can go back and play with. So I imagine...
You guys unlock them all, right?
Yes, try. I'll tell you what, you don't make it easy, honestly. Isn't that right?
It's fun just trying to get all of those characters because it's a giant challenge.
It is a super giant challenge.
And it's super rewarding when you find them as well.
Oh yeah. So much more you get to go back, and then there are all the things you unlock after the fact.
Yeah. So this demo that we've got is obviously towards the end of the Avengers movie. This is the first part of the Battle of New York, and it's where the portal's first been opened, the Chitauri are all coming through. We're going to get a Leviathan coming in. You can see there we've got a revamped New York, and it really is going to just be that showdown, the first part of the showdown leading up to when that epic assemble moment where you get all the Avengers pulling together. Right, we're going to do this now.
So, I mean, one thing that LEGO games have constantly brought to the table is sort of new ways that the characters interact, new ways that you're completing various objectives. And I'm thinking of like things in the past where we got to finally ride on vehicles and they were an aspect of it, or maybe the ways that and clever ways that you would be completing a certain goal. So, will we see a lot of sort of new things brought to the table as far as Lego Marvel Avengers?
Yeah, definitely.
In that regard?
Yeah, absolutely. This is like I said, this is a celebration of Avengers, and one of the core fundamentals of Avengers is it's teaming up, working together as a team. So what we've done is we've introduced what's called Avengers Initiative moves, where you have to basically pull together 2 Avengers characters, and then you team them up in various ways. So we'll have ways where Hulk will interact with Iron Man. You'll get Black Widow interacting with Hawkeye, and so they're sort of puzzle elements. But we're also allowing you to team up Avengers for combat moves. So you'll be able to sort of charge up your power bar by defeating enemies, and then you can either pull off solo combat special moves, or you're going to be able to pull off team combo moves. And that's like every single character has moves where they're in between each other. So you could have Quicksilver teaming up with Thor, you could have Scarlet Witch teaming up with Vision, you can have all these great epic things.
Interesting.
And it's just a way that we really wanted to sort of move forward. We like to take things forward with every video game that we do. And again, here you can see
one of those parts I was talking. Oh, that looks so awesome.
I've noticed the power meter.
Yeah, so once that's fully charged, that's when you can execute any of your combo moves. And once it's charged, you can execute a move, but it'll only take a third of the bar away. So you can do lots of moves once it's charged. And you can see in the background of a Stark Tower here, you can just make out Thor on the landing pad there.
Oh yeah, so, he's still fighting now.
Yeah, so at any time you can actually tag, and if you're in 2-player, one player would be down there playing, one player would be in the Quinjet, and the idea is to take Loki down. So again, we're trying to innovate, trying to move things forward and do exciting things that we've never done before.
So you mentioned that this is where we'll actually be starting in the game. Is that, or did I?
Oh no, this is. I think it's around about level 6 or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're starting the story right at the very start, where if you've not seen Age of Ultron, people, I'm really sorry. Spoilers, but the start of Age of Ultron is where we're going to start our video game, which is where they're hunting down Loki's staff. and then that way we can then segue straight into Avengers, where Loki's given the staff by the other to be able to go through, and it fits, you know, seamlessly and beautifully. And then obviously we'll transition from Avengers to Avengers Age of Ultron, and so we're going to retell that story. And then obviously there's more additional content that's in the game after that, as well as, you know, huge open world New York with all new content, exciting features, and again more stuff. So this game is like hugely expansive. You know, it is. You know, we've spent so much time going, right, this is Avengers, what can we do, and what can we do outside of the movies, and that's where we're really having fun.
I mean, that has to both be, you know, as you mentioned, like a blessing, but also a real, like a challenge, because not only do you have the voice of Avengers, but you have the great Lego voice that you guys have created in these games, which is, like you mentioned, the sort of the funny antics. I love that part where these guys were coming out of the portal and a bird smacked one of them in the face. It's those little tiny details that I love all the work that you guys put.
Yeah, and that's where we have fun. You know, we have, you know, our cutscene animators are absolutely the best in the business, and you know, they are so good at what they do. And you can see as well, you know, visually, from the last time we visited the Marvel Universe, you know, we've stepped things up. This looks, you know, really, really great. You know, the New York we've got now is fantastic, and you know, the characters have all got new moves, they've all got new abilities. So even though, you know, we may have had a video game with these characters before, they have all been given a new treatment. And then there's subtle things that people will probably never really notice unless it's called out. But without going too technical, we have parameterized anims in there, so you can see Captain America's like switching arms with his shield as he runs around, and all kind of subtle little things in the game that people may not necessarily pick up on, but we're really trying to push the bar. So even though it's a Lego game, technically there's so much going on under the bonnet.
Well, I love. Oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah, this is Black Widow's like super shield device where she can kind of like search out hidden stuff within the environments. And again, it's a case of taking characters and giving them new abilities. And they get new abilities between movies as well, because, you know, this is the Avengers Black Widow, but in Age of Ultron she has a new outfit, and again she has
so we'll
electric
see that
batons
reflected throughout the.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, go ahead, Minnie.
And I've seen that you've kept the combo meter.
Yeah, the combo meter is cool. You know, hopefully what we'll get is we'll get the combo meter charged and we'll be able to pull one of these off. But yeah, all we're doing is trying our best to take things up a notch. We really want to kind of push on.
And it's kind of this is where we have fun with it. We kind of bring these characters to life in a whole new way. Trying as best we can to, you know, take what happens in the movies and then pull that, you know, forward into the game. And what we've also done, something we didn't do in the Lego Marvel Superheroes, was allow Tony Stark to change, you know, into his various like Iron Man outfits.
Yeah, there were like what, 5 Lego or, you know, Marvel Iron Man ones in the last game?
Yeah, but you had to pick them off the free play grid, and it was something that we thought, well, you know what, yeah, this is kind of that next stage. Why don't we let you do that, live? So any time. So you know, hopefully we'll be able to see that. So there's a few bad guys around. Maybe this is where we could show Quicksilver doing some stuff. He has some great combat, but you'll see here any time you can go into this Tony Stark sort of HUD.
Oh wow!
And then what happens is each of the suits has a transform that people will recognise from the movies. So who have we got there? I think is that Silver Centurion. So yeah, Mark 33. So that's a cool suit, and there's a lot of love for the Mark 33. But yeah, we've got other suits in there. Black Widow just having a bit of a moment there. We've got other suits in there, like we've got the Mark 5, which is from Iron Man 2.
Are we seeing all of them right here? Are there more than just these ones? Or?
There'd be more.
Yeah, he will have more suits than that.
Do you have all the ones that you see in Iron Man 3? There were a lot there. There were a lot of suits.
We will have a lot of suits in there.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a nondescript number at the minute, but for us, obviously, it's not an Iron Man game. It's like I said, it's a celebration of Avengers. But you know, the team largely, you know, obviously as designers, we want to put a load of stuff in, but then the team kind of go, yeah, you know what, we want to put stuff in, and that's how these things snowball. You know, people have asked a lot about, who's going to be in the roster? You know, are you going to be able to beat the last game you worked on? And yeah, we always set out to go, yeah, why not? Let's try and one-up ourselves. Let's go for more characters, more abilities, more mechanics, more area, more levels. You know, let's try and just push the boundaries. That's what gamers want. They want a fun game they can play forever.
Speaking of what gamers want, we've got a question from Twitter, so let's take a look at what they want to ask you. These are the hard-hitting questions here. Chris Faya says, online co-op.
That's a very interesting question, because the great thing about Lego games is that that's where they really come to life, is the co-op. But for us, we absolutely adore the fact that people can play it together. It brings families together. It brings, like, you know, someone being able to play with their son or daughter, being able to play with, you know, their brother, sister, nephews, nieces, and that couch co-op, something that I guess, you know, you guys like me, we probably grew up when we were, you know, hammering away on our competition pros, playing speedball, whatever we were doing. It's that sort of thing that gets missed, I think, these days. And so it's something I love this Quicksilver stuff. It's so cool.
Wow.
When I saw this, when the guy that programmed this put this in, I was just like, that is so good. It's just like the movie. Yep. Anyway, yeah, the co-op stuff, it's about bringing people together. And believe it or not, you get hardcore gamers that just love, you know, playing all the shooting games. They'll actually kick back and relax playing a Lego game with their girlfriend, who may not necessarily play games. Yeah, a lot of the time it's actually the other way around. But it's that way of people coming together, and we don't want to lose that. We don't want to lose that sort of cooperative experience, that togetherness. So there's not really...
We're actually at Barton Farm, and here we have the Hulk. So this is the Hulk from Age of Ultron.
Look at him, he's so cute.
Yeah, so what we wanted to do is kind of show some of the new things he can do. So as we're kind of exploring the farm, he has the ability to kind of leap through the air. So what we can do is we can explore this area, and this is one of the free roaming sections that we have within the game. We have some other ones as well. We're going to go to New York City. We're kind of really want to have these areas where you're going to explore. There's races, there's kind of adventure. You'll encounter characters, all these kind of cool features. So when you come here in story, you get to come back in free play and kind of really explore this kind of much wider universe. And that's where we get to bring the comic book characters in as well, and kind of really bring this workplace to life.
Yeah, how true is this going to be to either the comics or the movie? You know, what are we going to see that's familiar, and what are we going to see that's different?
So we're definitely going to be looking at the movie story. We want to hit all the kind of key points from the Avengers, from Age of Ultron. And then with the comic book, we're not kind of set within one comic book arc. We're not one telling of it. We get to mix and match, which means that we've actually got some cool characters that we get to reveal that kind of show that, and show the fact that we're jumping around to different areas. Some of the cool things as well is what we get to do with the characters. This is brand new for this title. Here we've got Iron Man, and kind of Iron Man has his suits. What we can do is we can actually go into Tony Stark's HUD, and then you actually have the ability to change suits on the fly. So what we'll do is we're going to select the Mark 1 armor, and in comes Stanley. So Stan's helping us suit up.
And the little chicken too.
Yeah, so that chicken actually kind of harassing Hulk a little. It's keeping him hangry. So that gives us the Mark 1 suit, and then we actually have more suits than what we're showing here in the game, but we want to kind of give a bit of a flavour of what the team have been working on. Do you know the Mark 5 suit at all, the suitcase armour?
Not too well. Can you show me?
Yeah. So here we go. We've got the suitcase armour from, you can kind of see in the theatrical world.
Yes. Cool.
And so as you unlock these suits, they give you new abilities, new kind of mechanics, and that was really important that we had this within the world, because this is something that's very familiar. This is kind of like a really iconic shot from the films,
right?
And we wanted to recreate it in Lego. We've got a whole host of armor. This one's actually one of my favorites. So this is the Silver Centurion on the Mark 33.
Gotcha.
What's great about this is...
facial expressions are so great.
So Lego's actually creating this as a minifigure. So
really?
There'll be a kind of a pre-order exclusive at certain retailers, and I want this character on my desk.
Yeah.
I just think the armor looks absolutely amazing.
It does. It looks great as a Lego character. And is this specific to Iron Man, that he has the changeable suits, or are there going to be other changeable things for other characters too?
So this is kind of very specific for Iron Man. We kind of can jump into some other characters. We saw Stan Lee earlier. We actually have Stan Lee playable in the game as Iron Stan. So we have Stan Lee in his own Iron Man armor. So we want to kind of have a lot of fun with the character. You know the Hulkbuster from Age of Ultron? Stan kind of has his own ability. He gets to call in the Stan Buster.
Oh wow!
So we have the Hulkbuster in the game, but we now also have a Stan Lee themed Hulkbuster.
Oh my gosh! Look at his face.
So he's got a pencil there. There's a desk lamp. There's a coffee cup. And the team spend a huge amount of time kind of bringing these characters to life. It's got one of my favourite animations at the moment, where Stan kind of pops out and he starts working away on this typewriter. So they do an incredible job of really bringing these characters to life.
And the Buster's changing the typewriter for him. So that's that humor that I love so much about this game, that it's not necessarily jokes, but just it's delight, it kind of brought to life. And As somebody who works on this game, how do you go about creating those delightful situations? Is it just, you know, you ask yourself what you would like to see?
Well, yeah, very much so. The team do a kind of brilliant job of saying, okay, what would we find funny? And we have massive Marvel fans in the office. So they're looking at it and going, say, well, okay, what would we find funny from an animation perspective? What would we find funny from lines of dialogue? What would we find funny from gameplay? And they just do an incredible job of kind of wrapping this kind of really believable Marvel universe, but done with Lego humor. So they're the characters you know and love, but in an environment that's different from the normal.
Right. Who are we looking at right now?
So this is Speed. So he's one of the comic book characters we mentioned. He's a brand new kind of reveal for Gamescom. And this is kind of one of the comic book, I love his kind of animations that he has.
I know, it's just so great.
We have some other characters as well. We have the unbeatable Squirrel Girl.
Oh, wow.
So another reveal here for Gamescom. So Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. We know there's some massive fans in the office who in particular wanted to get Squirrel Girl back into the game. Are you up to date on your Thor? So we have actually Thor, but it's Jane Foster.
Oh, wow.
So
that's exciting.
This is what I was meaning about the kind of the ability to mix and match both new and old content.
Right.
So stuff that's brand new, kind of with kind of current Marvel themes, as well as classic characters in there. We've got other characters as well. So we've got Kamala Khan. So Miss Marvel, so she's going to be in the game, and it's kind of really exciting that we kind of mix and match all of these people in this universe and kind of have a lot of fun with the characters.
And so as I'm playing through the game, I can switch between any of these characters as long as I've unlocked them?
Yeah, so very much so. That's what kind of free play is about. So when you're in story mode, we kind of set the real characters in the kind of real locations.
Gotcha.
But then when you come back in free play, we want you to be able to toggle, you want to switch, you want to be able to try these characters out, see what new moves, see what abilities they have.
And sometimes, are there going to be objectives that I can only get as I go back in free play mode and use different characters and their abilities?
Oh yeah, very much so. So characters will have unique abilities, and as you're exploring the world, you'll see things where you'll go, you know what, I need a certain character, I need a certain ability. So when you do unlock that character, you'll come back and go, oh excellent, we can now use this ability and use this character to progress and see more and unlock more content.
Awesome. Well, what are some of the unique abilities that you think are the coolest?
So one of the great things, we've actually got this ability to team up characters together and do special moves. So as you're fighting, you can build up a charge meter, and then what you can do is you can actually trigger these special moves. So here we have Black Widow and Iron Man kind of doing a special, or basically like a smart bomb attack. And that means that we get to use these moves to kind of take down multiple enemies. It's really revamping the combat system. We know that people would love to build kind of Lego games, but they wanted more from what you could do with combat. So we've added these new abilities, we've added these new mechanics, and you can kind of decide when you want to trigger these moves. One of my favourite characters is actually Quicksilver. So for a very kind of prominent in Age of Ultron, he has an ability to target multiple enemies. The world slows down, he'll run down, take them all out, and then can carry on.
That's so satisfying.
Very much so. And of course he has special takedowns as well, so he can juggle enemies, and he can pick people up and spin them around in circles. So makes them really dizzy, they then fall over to defeat them in a single punch. So we want to kind of have a lot of fun with these characters, but like we say, we're revamping the mechanics, making sure there's loads of kind of new cool features. And it's just such a huge game. The team are kind of still putting in content. What's great is we're kind of announcing the release date for this title now. It's going to be available in Europe on January 29th.
Okay.
And it's going to be January 26th for America. And that's just basically because we really want to fill this game with...
Age of Ultron, as you saw in the trailer, as we revealed at New York Comic Con, it also features content from Iron Man 3, from Captain America, the First Avenger, Captain America Winter Soldier, and also Thor the Dark World, as well as an absolute abundance of other content. So I'm very, very quickly going to get off that screen, because you shouldn't have seen that. Again, dang it, Sharples. And just so you all know, everyone that's in this room, this session's also being live streamed, so hello to everyone that's watching on the live stream. We're going to show some new stuff now, so for the people at home, they're kind of more up to date than I am.
Is known as the Cradle, which is apparently capable
so some context for you. I'm going to drop into a section. Have you all seen Avengers Age of Ultron? Yeah, okay.
They kind of look a little.
If you haven't, obviously the DVD and Blu-ray's out now, available in all good stores. So I've done my dutiful plug for Marvel. So the movie's fantastic anyway, and so we're going to drop into a section in Korea.
I just need to take a minute.
Did you get it?
Stark will take care of it.
No, he won't.
You don't know what you're talking about. Stark's not crazy. We're not scientists. We're monsters, buddy. You want me to help
have you put Jarvis into this thing.
No! Of course not.
Inside this way.
Stark, come in. Stark. Anyone on comms?
So this brings us into our level in Korea.
Well, in any case,
you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm gonna have to multitask now.
Try to salvage some of the vehicles.
Normally, I'd have my daughter Lily playing the game for me. So I'm gonna run over here as Quicksilver. Get out of the way. So take over a few of these bad guys. One of the things you'll notice about this game, and I'm going to do some of these moves while there's no characters around, every one of the Avengers can team up with every other Avenger. So I can team up Quicksilver with Scarlet Witch, and they'll perform a special move here where Wanda gets some bricks to play with, and if I switch them around, again, there's a smart bomb effect where one of the characters is going to take out all of the bad guys for you. If I go over to Cap, and if I team Cap up with Scarlet Witch, again we get a smart bomb effect, and it's going to basically clear the way for you whenever you're in levels. The idea is, like I say, you could team up Hulk with Black Widow, you could team up Hawkeye with Vision, you could team up Quicksilver with Thor. You know, all of these actions are going to allow you to perform more sort of direct combat moves, I guess. Let me get something interesting on. Again, you saw it before, but Quicksilver's got a new move. Effectively, the whole world will stop and slow down. Quicksilver goes about his business, and then everything comes back up to speed. The idea is, again, as with our previous games, each character is brought to life and has the mechanics and the powers and the abilities that you'd expect them to. Scarlet Witch is able to mind control people, so we can save our poor stranded civilian there on the train, get ourselves some extra bricks. Let me go out here and help. As well, every single character is able to perform their own special moves. So if I survive long enough to pull it off, let me just build this first. Get that out of the way. Some more bad guys are going to come in now. But when I build up my combo meter in the final game, which is just done by generally beating up bad guys, you can then perform special moves that are unique to each character. And again, this goes for every single one of the characters. And I'll show you in a minute just how many characters there are, and you'll see how cool that actually is going to become because the amount of characters on screen. Let me go around here. Where's Scarlet Witch again? There we go. And so come around here. Scarlet Witch can interact with any of these items that have this red glow, and she can use her powers to obviously destroy these bits of Lego or bad guys or whatever it might be in the world. Something I was saying before, I was mentioning about obviously the content in LEGO Marvel's Avengers and the fact that we've got additional movie content. Are there any of these in tandem with voice work that we've got from some of the people from the shows and also from the movies? So I think it was on Wednesday night we recorded Clark Gregg, so we've got some Agent Coulson VO in there. I've already said obviously Hayley Atwell. And some of the other people we've got, which we can't really talk about yet, unfortunately, we'll obviously run through as we get closer to launch. But the voice work is what makes these games so fun. Out of everyone that's here, do you all play the games two-player or one-player? Does anyone play two-player? Okay, most of you do, which is great because that's where the games become obviously the most fun. In LEGO Marvel's Avengers, we've actually added a lot of new types of gameplay. So if you've all seen the movie, you've seen Hulk versus Hulkbuster. You'd think, how do I play as a second player in that epic fight? Because you've got Hulkbuster versus Hulk. There isn't a second playable character. So we've added stuff in there to allow players to do that. You can actually play Veronica. So one of you will play the Veronica satellite, the other one plays the Hulkbuster. I need to. I'm really bad at multitasking, so I just need to concentrate there. Otherwise, I'll die horrendously. So I'm going to get this a bit more Lego down there. Smash this up. Now, you all know that Lego games come into, I guess, come into their own in free play. That's right, don't you? Yeah. That's when you get to find the crazy characters, when you get to explore the worlds. Did you all enjoy the open world experience in Lego Marvel's Superheroes? Yeah? Okay. I'll take that golf clap, thank you. In Lego Marvel's Avengers, we are returning to an open world New York. So we actually have a huge Manhattan again. But on top of that, we're actually adding in 8 other hub worlds. So you can go to Asgard, you can go to Washington DC, you can go to Barton Farm, you can go to, let's have a think, where else can you go? You can return to the S.H.I.E.L.D. base from the start of the movie. Effectively, we're adding in a whole load of extra content. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually drop in here. Do you want to see some of the characters that we've got? Okay, let's have a look. So ignore these menus, you would never see those in real life. Okay, so I'm going to run over here. Now this is just a small version of the menu, by the way, because the final grid is actually over 200 characters. So there's a huge number of characters. So I'm going to go up here. So I said we had Agent Carter. So we've got Hayley Atwell in the game. Really very, very cool character. You'll actually bump into her in her retired agent form. And then when you interact with her, we turn back the clock to the 40s, and then that's when you'll actually play during her quests. So we've got Agent Carter in there. We've got Agent Coulson, Agent Sitwell, everybody's favourite. Yeah, Agent Sitwell? Yeah. And you'll see, obviously, there's some great characters along here, like Amadeus Cho, America Chavez. We also have, and I'm going to try and do this without giving characters away that we haven't yet revealed. There we go, down there. So we have any fans of Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. So she's in the game and she's very cool. And again, she's very stretchy and all of her anims and moves are unique. Very similar to, obviously, you know, another very famous character in the Marvel Universe. But she's brilliant. Very cool character. And we have huge numbers of female characters in the game. I'm going to also go down here. I have to show this one, really. Obviously, some of you will have played Lego Jurassic World earlier this year. And so we're sat in the office, we're different teams, just so you know. We're sat in the office going, hold on, they've got playable dinosaurs. So obviously we had to put Devil Dinosaur in there. And if you play as Moon Boy, then yes, you can jump on the back and ride Devil Dinosaur around. We have some crazy, quirky characters who aren't maybe everybody's favourite. I love Egghead, personally. So we've got characters like that. We've also got characters, one of the characters we got asked for more than any was Fing Fang Foom, who is... Did Fing Fang Foom really just get a whoop? I love it, okay. And as a character to play, you can imagine going around the open world is a fabulous character. And again, every character has unique moves, unique animations. I could fly around this section of Korea, I'm not going to get very far. And in the open world, Fing Fang Foom can scale up to ridiculous sizes because that's what the character does. So I'm going to, let me pick someone else now. Let's run over here. So we go through, we've got Gargoyle. One of the things, and I don't know, people on the live stream will have seen this. One of the things that we have in the game is the ability to go into Tony Stark's helmet at any point in time. And I can go, oh, I want the Mark V suit of armour. And so, provided that Ultron Goon doesn't kill me, I can transform into the Mark V Iron Man outfit. Yeah. The reason he didn't was I got killed, so there you go. But I can pick any of these armours, so I can have Stan Lee run in and give me the Mark 1. I could if I wasn't getting beaten up the whole time. I'll tell you what, let's have some... There we go. Let's get rid of these guys. And again, obviously, the first game allowed it. This time round, you've got a different Hulk, so we've got a different transformation back to Banner. And again, I can Hulk out as well, and it's a different transformation back to the Age of Ultron Hulk. But the normal Hulk will also be there. Let's go over here. For any Jessica Jones fans, with the new Netflix show that's coming out, we've got a cartoon, kid-friendly version of Jessica Jones in the game, if there is such a thing, which there is, trust us. We also have some characters from the other movies. So you have Curse, obviously from Thor Dark World. I'm just trying to think. This is a great one. So we've got Hulk and we've got Scar in the same video game. Let's have a think who else we've got. Some of the newer characters, because obviously you all know Stan Lee's going to be in the game again. Yeah, the game wouldn't be the same without Stan Lee, who actually seems to have the same powers as Black Widow. So let's just do this free play puzzle. Pardon me a minute. There we go, down there, down there. Okay, there we go. I've unlocked a mini kit in a minute. So yes, we've got Stan Lee. Who else have we got on here? Let's have a look. So you'll see here, there's a Hulk Buster in the game. There's also a Stan Buster. Not really able to see it that well here. But Stan's in there, typing away on a typewriter. Some of the stuff that you haven't seen. So I'm going to show some new characters now, and this is more for the people at home because they don't get to necessarily see all the stuff that live shows. One of the new characters we've got that's going to be in the game is Crimson Dynamo, which is a very, very cool character. One of my favourite characters from the comic books. Arch nemesis or arch enemy, I guess, of Tony Stark. So we're going to have Crimson Dynamo in there. Who else have we got? I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, a character called Archon. Who again, some of you will be scratching your heads with these. Don't forget, there are so many characters in this game. We've gone to take an entire roster of characters. We're trying to get as many characters in as we can from the Marvel Universe. All again through that Avengers themed, those Avengers themed goggles. Another character that we've got is Mantis, who's a great character. Again, I've been reading a couple of comics lately that have got Mantis in there. Love those. Down here, I'm just trying to remember who the very last one that we were revealing is. Let's go up here actually. So we've got oh, there we go. How could I forget Cottonmouth? Oh, that's not Cottonmouth, that's Agent Carter. Here we go, so Cottonmouth. And again, like I was saying, every character having unique moves. So Cottonmouth has got unique moves. Again, unique specials. The idea is every single character is faithful to the game and also obviously to the Marvel Universe. And what I'm going to do here, if I actually need... So he's got... Okay, so this is the thing. Obviously, you know we're all still in development. I didn't know that Stan had his own Captain America shield with a moustache on. So that's new. But anyway, all of this content is obviously work in progress. We're still making the game. There's people back in the office right now working, slaving away to get all the game as good as it possibly can be. I'm seeing stuff I've never seen before. I love this. What we're going to do is I'm just going to pause that very quickly. In fact, I'm even going to just click that there.